Tears fell, voices trembled, and even the strongest among the cast had to pause, overwhelmed by the weight of the moment. The Chosen. Season 6 isn't just another chapter, it's the storm before the peace, the heartbreak before the miracle. While cameras rolled and lines were spoken, something deeper stirred behind the scenes. This time, the emotions weren't just acting, they were real, raw, and unforgettable. What happened off-camera may just break you more than what you'll see on screen. Behind every word spoken in The Chosen. Season 6, there was a silence that screamed louder than dialogue. Filming this season wasn't just technical work, it was an emotional trial. Cast members walked into each scene not just with scripts in hand, but with heavy hearts. This season dives deep into the final days of Jesus' earthly journey, and the actors felt the weight of that responsibility like never before. Some scenes were so intense, production had to stop. Not because of technical issues, but because the actors were weeping. One cast member admitted they couldn't hold it together during a scene where Jesus silently stared at his disciples. It felt too real, they said. During night shoots, the atmosphere was still, almost sacred. Even the crew whispered. You could sense it. Something holy was unfolding, even though it was just a set. The writers pushed deeper this season, and the actors followed. Every word had to come from a place of truth, and it shook them. They weren't just telling a story. They were living through grief, doubt, faith, and surrender. For many, it wasn't just about playing their roles. It was about confronting their own questions. What does it mean to follow a man who's walking toward death? What does it feel like to say goodbye, knowing it will never be the same again? Section 2, Holding Back Tears, Until They Couldn't. As the cameras rolled deeper into the later episodes of The Chosen Season 6, something shifted. The lines between performance and reality began to blur. The cast, who had walked this journey for years, now faced the heartbreak their characters were living. Watching Jesus prepare for the cross, no matter how many times they rehearsed, the emotions hit like waves they couldn't control. One of the actors confessed that during the Last Supper scene, they couldn't even look at Jonathan Roumie, who plays Jesus, without choking up. The pain, the farewell, the unspoken love. It was too close to the heart. Some actors isolated themselves between takes, sitting alone in silence, trying to process what they were feeling. Others stayed in character long after cut was called, because stepping out felt like breaking something sacred. The director, usually calm and composed, was seen wiping his eyes more than once. It wasn't just about making television anymore, it became a shared experience of grief and reverence, where everyone on set felt the deep sorrow of what was coming. Even the extras, those with no lines, stood still in awe during the crucifixion preparation scenes. They said it didn't feel like acting. It felt like witnessing history. The emotional journey of The Chosen. Season 6 is not just a behind-the-scenes story, it's the soul of the show, heavy, honest, and unfiltered. When you watch this season, you won't just see actors delivering lines. You'll feel the tears they couldn't hide, the silence they couldn't fill, and the truth they couldn't escape. This is more than storytelling. This is heartache made visible. Section 3. When Faith Meets Fear, the moments that shook the set. As the final scenes of The Chosen. Season 6 neared filming, the entire set seemed to hold its breath. The crucifixion was no longer a distant moment on the call sheet. It was now. And with it came a storm of emotions that no one could prepare for. Cast and crew alike described a chilling stillness during those days. The sky grew heavy. The air on set felt different. Some said it was just the pressure of filming such an iconic moment, but others whispered it felt spiritual, like they were standing on holy ground. Jonathan Roumie, playing Jesus, bore the emotional weight in a way that left everyone stunned. In one scene, after delivering his lines with trembling conviction, he collapsed into quiet sobs as soon as the director called cut. Not as a performance, but as a man who had just carried the pain of the world. And the crew? They didn't move. No one shouted instructions. No one broke the silence. All stood still, honoring the sacredness of what they had just witnessed. One cameraman later admitted he forgot to breathe during the take. Fear also crept in, not the fear of mistakes, but of doing injustice to the moment. How do you capture the final hours of Jesus and make it feel real, raw, and reverent? Everyone on set knew they were telling a story that millions would carry in their hearts. The pressure was immense, but in that fear, something beautiful happened. Faith took over.